Welcome back to Inside Out. It's our Diwali special, and before the break, we were telling you how Viraj likes some stocks in the jewelry space. Let me come across to you, Basant, now. Are you buying any jewelry, by the way, this festive season?
No, no jewelry for now.
So, if not jewelry, I know that you like the EV space. Are you buying any electric vehicles or stocks related to that? Any auto components or OEMs there?
No, we own EV stocks, both the internationally and as well as in India. So I'll give you the bad picture first. China's GDP grew at 3.5%, and China is 20% almost of the global auto market. So you would look at last numbers, last month's numbers, last quarter's numbers, and you will say, कुछ हो नहीं रहा है यहाँ पे. But you have to take a bigger call. You have to see the shift happening. So there are companies where the sector grows, and there are companies where the sector shifts. So EV is a place where you shift from the ICE to the electric vehicle space. So that's a proper way of looking at it. There are plenty of newcomers in the Indian space like M&M and who've just started off the block. So I wouldn't like to bet on them. I would like to bet on an international player, which is an Indian company, because they have their model tested globally also. And see, when I pay 40, 50 lakhs for a car or 20, 30 lakhs for a car, I want a name also to go with it. So I think that's the proper way of looking at it.
You want to give us what you'll hold, in investor portfolio or in one of your funds?
No, it's known. I mean, the international player from India, it's known who owns a company in Europe. And I mean, you look at the China figures every month as if that's the only make or break for the company. But over a period of 2, 3, 4 years, these monthly numbers mean nothing. I'll just like to add one thing. There are 200 reasons to sell a stock. And there's just one reason to get wealthy. That is to own a stock. So every day, every year, we are clouded with one big macroeconomic news and one big military news. 4 years back, we had Kim Jong-un of North Korea. Then we had China, Taiwan. Now we say Russia is going to bomb Ukraine. These things will happen, but you have to own the stock and live with the misery and the trauma and the pain. That's the only way of getting it.
All right, it's Diwali, so let's get a sweetener in there. I believe you like a sugar stock, but you're rooming the cyclicality out because it's an ethanol play.
Right, so you've answered it for me, because the moment you add ethanol to sugar, the cyclicality goes away, and cyclicality going away means the P gets re-rated.
So this is Balrampur Chini then?
No, it could be anything. Sugar and ethanol, I mean, there are so many companies to look at.
But this could be one of the plays, right, which is fitting the description.
You could fit anything. I'm not saying any, I'm not calling out any stock, but what I'm saying is any sugar company that's added the ethanol business to itself de-risks itself from the commodity swings of ups and downs. And ethanol prices, as long as Russia keeps bombing Ukraine, it's good for everyone, because crude remains up and the government gets forced to blend more ethanol into the diesel. I mean, has a bad impact on your engine, but who cares after that?
Okay, so that is about the ethanol play. Viraj, let's stick to the auto space yet again, because you have some auto ancillaries that you like. Tell us why and which ones are these?
So just to give a little bit of a picture, auto cycle essentially had its peak, and especially the CV cycle, MHCV cycle had its peak in 2018, 17, 18. Now post that, our volumes in that industry are still below. And obviously there will be disruption in some segments in auto where a lot of two-wheelers will get converted into EVs, and the way to play this in our mind is where there is no disruption risk. So we continue to own a tire manufacturer. We think the kind of capex some of these tire manufacturers have done has significantly improved their capacity from 3 years back. Exports have been a large tailwind to some of these guys. So we like a company known as CEAT. And for CEAT, out of 10,000 crore of revenue, the company now has 2,000 crore of exports, and we think the margins have bottomed out. So we essentially like pure play companies where margins will only look up from here because the commodity prices have come down, and CEAT is a very big play in that. We think over the next 3 years, there is tailwind both in terms of top line growth and margin improvement for CEAT.
Okay, all right, Viraj noted that. But Basant, the one big change from a couple of Diwalis ago till this Diwali would be the equity cult. And that's really growing here in India. Various ways to play it, but you have only one exchange that's listed and only one depository that's listed. What's your take? I mean, you like this theme. How do you play it?
So first, my two observations on the exchange, which is BSE, we don't own, so I can openly tell you. I mean, people trade at BSE, but not too many people trade there. BSE is good for other reasons, dividend yields and other that. And CDSL is great if you're owning demat shares, but the real volume is in the options trade. And I'll give you just one example. You follow derivatives so closely. 3 years back, we used to say 17,000 strike has got 40 lakh puts that would be defended. These days, we say 17,000 strike has got 1 crore 20 lakh puts and that would be defended, which means the number of puts have tripled, which means people have tripled on the options trade. So who benefits when you play options?
Brokerages.
The online brokerages. So you could buy any one of them, the online brokerages. That's a proper way of looking at it. And they have removed the cyclicality. So from 2007 to 2022, the markets have gone up and down. But the trading volume have grown at 24% CAGR over the last 15 years. And then I can give you the same blah, blah, blah of the demographic dividend, 25% ke niche, itna percent of India, and you'll fall off to sleep, say, I don't know to hear that again.
But what we want to know is which stock. Is it ICICI Securities? Is it Angel One?
So which one is growing faster? I think the readers can do their own homework. The ones which are growing fast.
I think some of the ones that I've named as well.
Maybe, yeah.
Okay, that is some food for thought for our viewers. You have to guess that. But Basant and Viraj, it has been a pleasure. Thank you so much for joining us and taking a deep dive in the themes that both of you like. But for now, we have run out of time on this episode of Inside Out. It's a goodbye from Nigel and I.
Well, thanks a lot for watching and wishing you a prosperous and profitable Samvat 2029.